Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's do some more crafting for him. Stay tuned. Welcome everyone. I am so glad that you're here, and a big welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Today we're going to make a highly requested craft. When I was doing the placemat series, so many of you wanted to see placemat journals. Now we're going to make these journals using placemats. Now if you don't have placemats, that's okay, because you can substitute heavyweight cardstock for the placemats. But for those of you who are interested in how to make these journals using placemats, that's what we're doing today. And so it's a little challenging finding placemats that have more of a masculine feel. However, if the guy that you're making these for is anything like my husband, Mike, he's always looking for something to write in. He doesn't mind dropping any notepad that I've made in his laptop bag or keeping one out in the garage when he's doing his home improvement. So what I did was I cut down various placemats and I cut away to get to the portion that would give me more of that masculine look. Now I really like this one, even though it has the heart on it. I think it's really cute, and I like that it's brown. And then we have some graphics. And so for me, this works. I would have no problem giving this to Mike, and he wouldn't have a problem dropping this in his book bag, in his glove box, or keeping one out in the garage. And then I cut down a placemat so that I could make this one. Now this one can kind of go either way. But remember, on this channel, we craft for any season, any reason, any gender. So for me, and the way that I craft, and how I try to make sure that my crafting is all-inclusive, this works. So we have these two. So y'all know what time it is. It is time to get started. All right, y'all. So here is a closer look at these little placemat journals. And because they do have that coating, you automatically have a protective cover. So when you open these, I haven't added any decoration to the inside because I want this just to be a journal that can be carried and written in. Now the way that we're going to put this together makes it a permanent adhesion. This will not be a tearaway pad. This will be a journal where the pages are permanently installed. Now I haven't allowed this one to dry completely, but you can see that I'm able to open this in the middle and we can lay this out flat. So if you're on a tabletop, you can open it just like this and make your notes. These are so stinking cute, y'all. And of course they are, because we're using those gorgeous placemats from the Dollar Tree. But like I said, having the placemats are not necessary. You can do this same project with the heavyweight cardstock using the dimensions that I'll be giving you. And then if you want a protective cover on that heavyweight cardstock, just use some clear contact paper and you'll have that same effect. So here's what we need to make it. I have 50 sheets of plain white printer or copier paper. This is really that very thin paper that we run through our copiers and our printers. Then I have my vinyl placemat, and it's cut at 8 5/8 by 4 1/8. Now, if you wanted to be exact and cut this at 4 inches tall, you would be able to get 5 of these from one placemat. Using the measurements that I'm giving you, you're able to get 4 from one placemat. But that's still not a bad deal because you are making your journal jacket for 25 cents. And then I have a piece of lightweight paper that came in a pack that had 360 sheets. So I'm starting with the piece that measures 6 by 12. When you add it all up, including what we'll be using in adhesive, this is another high-end dollar craft. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take my placemat that I have cut to 4 1/8 by 8 5/8, and I am going to back it in tape. So we're going to cover the whole thing in tape. If you have that Xyron sticker maker, you can certainly just run this through that. Save yourself a step. And we're going to place down our last piece of tape. And I am going to peel away my tape backer. And now I'm going to bring in that piece that measures 6 by 12, flip it over, and I'm just going to take this piece and place it down. And that's how I'm going to get my inside liner. And then I'll smooth it with my big old spatula. And now I'll use my finger blade just to trim away all of that excess paper. And y'all remember the tags that we made using the price tags from clothing? Well, if you have any of those, when you do this craft, you have this wonderful piece left over. Why not go ahead and cover it and just toss it in your bin? And that way, when you need a tag, already have it covered, and you can just start turning it into what you want. All right, so once we have that backer on, you can see how gorgeous that's going to be on the inside. I am going to place this in my scoreboard, and we are going to score at 4 1/8. I'm trying to keep this straight. Sometimes you can go a little bit off, and I'm going to come on this side too and just score at 4 1/8, just to make sure I have a good impression. Then I'll rotate it to this side, and I'll score at 4 1/8 again. Going to go on the back side and score at 4 1/8. So now I can take this and we can fold it to get our spine. And now we have a nice little jacket for the papers that we're going to put inside. Now I have cut 50 sheets, but before I actually glue these in, I want to take them and put them on the inside. And I'm trying to make sure that I have a good fit, that I don't have too many in here, because we can remove some right now if we need to, because what we want when we're placing these down, we need to make sure that we're placing them inside of these two score marks, not on the score marks, but inside them. So I am going to remove just a few of my sheets. So I actually took it from 50 sheets to 40 sheets. So you can start out with 50, and then if it seems to be hitting, go ahead and remove some. But just remember how many you remove, because if you are planning on selling these at a craft fair, in your Etsy shop, wherever, you need to make sure that you're giving an accurate count of how many are contained in each book. So I am going to bring in my handy dandy reptile glue, make myself a few dots. And you guys know this is a process that I love using when I'm making journals like this. And I'm going to get it nice and gluey. And we aren't going to allow this to dry. We're going to take it and place it in our book. So when I'm placing it, I am going to be very careful on trying to make sure that I have it inside of my score marks. So I am going to flip this around to the back just to make sure that I do. And then I can press down. Let me check this side. I'm going to use my paper towel to remove any glue that might have oozed out. Then I can remove that clip, and I'm just going to start pressing this down. And I want to make sure that if I have any glue that has seeped, that I get it up. Then I can take my finger and just go along the spine on the back to get that nice and stuck. And then I'll press down. Run my fingers along that spine again to make sure it's nice and stuck. Then I can take my sides and just close my book. Then I'm going to use my big old spatula to really put some pressure on that paper and on that glue because I want to make sure that they stick. So now we have this sweet little journal. We need to give this a chance to dry. Now, when I make journals like this, I normally mass produce them. And what I do is I make them and I let them sit overnight so that I know the next day they are very dry. My pages will not come out. But if you're like me, sometimes you're impatient and you don't want to wait overnight, please let this dry completely for at least 2 to 4 hours before you actually try to handle it. That way you won't mess up your beautiful hard work. Now this one needs time to dry, so I'm not going to open it and stress it because I really do need for those papers to get a really nice stick on them. So I'm not going to do any folding back or opening the book. But we do have the other two that I made, and you can see just how gorgeous these are. So simple, so economical, so stinking cute. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this wonderful way to turn those vinyl placemats into journals, or if you don't have vinyl placemats, using that heavyweight cardstock and the same measurements I just gave you will work also. If you have liked this wonderful project, please hit that like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.